Hi friends, so this is kind of like my first video since coming back to YouTube, and I mentioned in my little Q&A that I did that I want to do videos that are more relaxed and not extensively, like purposefully ASMR. I can still do videos like that, obviously, but I really love to do ones that are just super lo-fi and super low-key. So I thought today I would show you guys my Blu-ray collection. Ignore these. That could be a different video. That's my horror DVDs. Buying horror on DVDs is just easier. So I can just go down the line and kind of show everything. I won't take up too much time. I guess I'll knock out these because these are the only ones that are on Blu-ray. These are my 4K. I want to get 4K. Like, I slowly started building a sort of 4K setup. I have a 4K TV and I have the cable. I just don't have the player. So these are the Planet of the Apes trilogy. I love the way that feels. It's so nice. I love when a movie has like a matte texture. So this has all three of them. So it has Rise, Dawn, and War. And it comes with this poster, which I haven't used, but I thought it was cool. So if you don't know what these movies are about, basically, I can tell you the first one, which is Rise, the Planet of the Apes with James Franco. This one is about this ape named Caesar who's bred in a lab, and he discovers that humanity isn't so perfect. You know, like we like raise apes to be test subjects in this world, and you know that doesn't always go over well. So I really love these films. I think they're beautiful. So I have that one. Maybe I can show you the rest. There's Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, and then there's War for the Planet of the Apes. My favorite is Dawn, personally, but I love them all, like I said. So then we have the only like TV show, and it is my favorite TV show, Mr. Robot. Now this TV show, it's on Amazon Prime if you have that. It is perfection. It is my favorite TV show for a reason. I've watched a lot of TV shows. I recently watched, you know, this, Breaking Bad, Game of Thrones, Band of Brothers, The Pacific, you know, Stranger Things, Outer Banks, and this is my favorite. This deals with a man named Elliot Alderson. He's the one on the left up there at the top, and it's Rami Malek plays him. And it's about kind of the world taken over by 𝐬𝐭𝐚𝐲. So like we have, what is it called now? I'm just used to calling it 𝐬𝐭𝐚 because of this show, but like the Elon Musk stuff like that. But it's brilliant. It's beautiful. It's well thought out. There is great representation of all people, and it represents mental health so well. There is a quote of this, and I'm getting it tattooed. I love it so much. So it's really just beautiful. And then we have probably the coolest Blu-ray I own, and this is the Dune Blu-ray. Now this isn't the David Lynch. It's not David Lynch. Why did I say David Lynch? It's not David Lynch. But this is, maybe it is, I don't know. Yes, it is. This is not David Lynch, though. He did the original. This is the, I cannot pronounce his name. Denis Villeneuve, I think is how you pronounce it. It's French. But this is his film. This is part 1, which is really cool because you don't know that until the end of the film. But this is a sci-fi post-apocalyptic movie. It follows the Atreides clan, and it has a stunning cast. Javier Bardem is forever in my heart. Timothée Chalamet is an angel. Zendaya, she's amazing. So, you know, and Oscar Isaac, Jason Momoa, like I can point all of them out. They're great. It's a fantastic movie. It is what I like to see in sci-fi. It is. It's brilliant. I don't think the David Lynch film really holds up. I haven't seen it in its entirety, though. I've just seen bits and pieces. And this is, I cannot wait till part 2. I want to read the books, but I want to finish part 2 first, because I went into this without the books. And so I figured I should watch part 2 without the books as well. And this edition comes with the pain box, which if you've seen the movie, you understand what that references that. So, it's Dune. Then we have a film that's pretty old. I think this might be the first Blu-ray I ever owned, but it's The Fault in Our Stars. Now, I loved this film growing up. It was my safe haven. I loved John Green, though, growing up. I devoured his books in middle school. Oddly enough, when I had a hospital stay, I ended up taking all these books and putting them on the windowsill and read them all as a kid, so. But if you don't know what this is about, you should. It's about these two star-crossed lovers, Hazel Grace and Gus, and they have cancer. And it's just a cancer story, but it's really sweet. It's pretty cheesy. It's very 2014 Tumblr kid, you know. Everyone drew infinity symbols. If you saw people with infinity tattoos, it was probably because of this movie. But it's good. It's cute. This was the special edition that I begged my grandmother for, and it came with a bracelet. I don't know where that bracelet is, but yeah, it's really cool. And then we have a movie, which I think back when I did YouTube before, someone sent this to me. This is Ponyo, which is a Studio Ghibli film, and I love Studio Ghibli films. This one is really adorable. It's kind of like a retelling of Little Mermaid, like kind of, but it's really cute. It's more for the kids, but it's also for the adults. It's really beautiful, you know, and it has a cast you're gonna recognize. So I think it's really cool. And this case comes with an old DVD pop style, and I don't have any other Blu-rays that do this. I think that's so cool. So yeah. Now these other two films. This man, Ari Aster, I would sacrifice it all for this man, just to get a glimpse of his third film. And that is because he is probably the best horror director that I know. So this was his first film, Hereditary, and at the time New York gave it The Exorcist. They called it The Exorcist of Our Generation, which is pretty good. I won't tell you what this is about, because if I do, I'll spoil it. I know I will. I won't be able to stop myself. But just know you have to watch it, as well as Midsommar. And Midsommar is quite frankly the movie that made me realize maybe I could be brought into a cult. Because I watched this with a friend of mine, and he was terrified. Like, he was pissing himself. And I watched it, and I was just mouth agape, eyes glossed over. I was crying. I was like, this is so beautiful. The film just, it breathes. And I love that. It's stunning. Florence Pugh is an angel. But it's so good. Basically, this follows a girl who, after a tragedy, follows her friends to Sweden for a midsummer festival. And from there, it's not exactly what you think it is. It's pretty sinister. So it's really good, though. It's beautiful. I think Ari Aster has a real gift. Then we have a film that I don't know anything about. There are a couple on here that I haven't watched yet. This is called Stoker. This has Nicole Kidman, and that's the only name I really recognize. But I love her. And this was like $1, so I grabbed it. It was brand new. So, and I've noticed with some of these, some Blu-rays come with just the Blu-ray, and some come with the DVD as well. I think it really depends. And I feel like maybe they're trying to phase out DVDs out of the Blu-rays. So, but this looks like a family sort of, not like cynical, psychological, so. Then we have a film. This film is amazing. It is Bohemian Rhapsody with Rami Malek and 𝐬𝐭𝐚𝐲. And I'm pretty sure Ben Hardy's in it, yeah. And I don't remember who plays, I forget his name. Well, anyways, Rami Malek plays Freddie Mercury. And this basically chronologizes the birth of Queen. It's not like without its flaws, but for me it's perfect considering how much I love Freddie Mercury. You know, there are some discrepancies about how accurate it is, even though there are biographies from, you know, Freddie's late husband and people he knew really well who were close friends. There are stories and books and interviews compared to what Brian made. That's the one I could think of. And the others have said, because they were involved heavily in this film. But it's great. The music is great. They perform Live Aid, which y'all can curse me and cast me down. I just found out about when I watched this film. My friend, he got me into Freddie Mercury. And when I told him what's Live Aid, I thought he was going to, like, hang me from the rafters. But it's really great. I really suggest everyone watch this. Even if you're not a Queen fan, you're gonna get goosebumps and feel something. I cry every time, so. I mean, I've seen it maybe 20 times this year alone. Then we have a film that's, it's more iffy. It's based on a David Letterman book, though. Every Day. It's a good book. I'd say it's a great book. I love his writing. The movie, it was alright. Basically, this film follows this entity named A. And A wakes up every morning in a different body. It's never the same person twice. Always someone close in age and always close by. And it's every day they wake up. And they end up falling in love with this girl. I think her name's Rhiannon. Rhiannon, yeah. And, you know, how do you make that work when you're waking up in a different body? How do you make someone believe that you're you? So, it's cute, it's romantic. Pink wrote a song, What About Us, for it. And that song gives me goosebumps, and so I love the scene where that plays. Then we have a film that I haven't seen, but everyone tells me I need to. Fun tip, if you go to Dollar Tree, check for DVDs and Blu-rays. They have really good ones. I had this film, Charlie Bartlett, which has been through the ringer, you can tell. and it doesn't even close, and you can see all the scratch marks because I've watched it 100 times. Went to Dollar Tree and they had a brand new copy. So, but I got World War Z there, and this is the Brad Pitt zombie movie, which I haven't seen. I know nothing about, but last night I watched Train to Busan. Perfect movie, probably my favorite foreign zombie film. And if you know who, don't quote me on it, but I think his name is 𝐬𝐭𝐚𝐲. He's in Squid Game. He plays the game master at the beginning, the one who plays in the train. He's in the Train to Busan, but my friend said it's a lot like this film. So if that's the case, I'm excited because I loved Train to Busan. And I really like Brad Pitt. People say he's a bad actor who plays a one-note character, but I like him, so yeah. Then we have a film that every person watching this ought to recognize, if not for the film, for the scene that's on YouTube and every ASMR movie compilation. And that's Edward Scissorhands with Johnny Depp and Winona Ryder. Winona Ryder is an angel, is America's darling. So this movie has the very famous scene on YouTube ASMR where it's the light concealing cream goes on first, then you blend and blend and blend. Blending is the secret. More concealing cream. Your complexion is so fair. Here, this has a touch of lavender in it. Give it a try. Close enough. Like it has that scene. But it's a beautiful film. It's a Tim Burton film. And it is, quite frankly, probably my favorite live action Tim Burton. My favorite animated, or stop motion, I guess, is Corpse Bride. But this is beautiful. It's stunning. It's just perfect. I love it. It's romantic. It's heartfelt. It makes me laugh and cry, and it's just so good. So, then we have Knives Out. Knives Out is, I don't know how to describe it. It's a murder mystery, and it's a whodunit. And I love it as a Rian Johnson whodunit. This has a star-studded cast. I mean, you have Daniel Craig, James Bond, Chris Evans, Captain America, Jamie Lee Curtis, Laurie Strode, Christopher Plummer, he plays a major role, Michael Shannon, Toni Collette, who's also in Hereditary. It's just a great film, and overall, just a great mystery. I don't know, it's just so good. It keeps you tied to your chair. I would say at the edge of your seat, but it's a murder mystery, so we're going to tie you to your chair. It's fantastic. I cannot wait for Glass Onion. I am really on the fence. Look how pretty those discs are. Wow. I'm really on the fence about how I feel of it being a Netflix release. On one hand, it's easily accessible, but on the other, I want to have a case that matches, and I kind of wanted to do the black with the yellow font. Call me a marketing genius, but I think that would look so cool. And they're planning to do more, so like they could be, black, yellow, black, black, yellow, yellow, black, like imagine these two. That is such a cool look. The next film though is Downsizing. This is another one I haven't seen. If you know who Possessed by a Horror is here on YouTube, Sarah, a darling. This is a great film she suggested. I haven't watched it yet, but I want to. I love Matt Damon. It's a comedy, but I think it's supposed to be really heartfelt too. It has, what's his name? Christoph Waltz. There he is. And he's in another film I'm going to show you in a minute. But it looks good, so I'm looking forward to it. I wonder what it would be like to live tiny. So, this is another Dollar Tree one. You see this has the DVD, so it just depends where you go and where you get it. These next two films, might be controversial. Okay, they're quite controversial. These are Quentin Tarantino films. Now, I know he's been criticized for being super violent and graphic. I kind of like it. He is possibly my favorite director. I don't know yet, because Greta Gerwig is pretty up there, you know. But this was the first one of his I saw, Pulp Fiction. Not my favorite, but very close. My favorite is 𝐬𝐭𝐸 Bastards. But this is where the famous John Travolta dancing scene comes from. And it's where, like, when he looks around and he turns, he has a ponytail. That's where this comes from. Samuel Jackson's in it. There is an iconic line that I say constantly when my friends stutter, and it makes them laugh. I'm not gonna say it on here because I know that there are people who are kids who watch me. Don't watch this if you can't handle all that. It does curse quite a bit. Actually, I think one of his films holds the record for the most F-bombs dropped in a film, if I'm not mistaken. It's not this one, though. This one's really good, though. So, it's just Hollywood. Pulp. You know, if you know what pulp stuff is. Books, films, you know, the old days. So, yeah, it's really good. Bruce Willis is in it, too. And it was, like, when he was early on in his career. Christopher Walken, too. So... And then the other Tarantino film I own, I've seen nearly all of them. There's only a couple I need to get to watch online. This is Django Unchained. This has Jamie Foxx, who is just brilliant. He is fantastic in this film, as is Christoph Waltz, like I mentioned, from Downsizing. And then Leonardo DiCaprio, Samuel Jackson. The thing with Tarantino is he has kind of a... I think every director does it. He has like a Rolodex of favorite actors to pull. Samuel Jackson and Uma Thurman are two main ones for him. You know, every director has their pool. So, Jake Gyllenhaal is for, you know, 𝐬𝐿𝐴𝐷. I think he's been in 3 of his films. So, you know, everyone has their taste. But this film is about a slave who ends up being a bounty hunter with Christoph Waltz's character, and they go off to first bounty hunt, but then to get Django's wife. So, in another iconic scene, the ASMR comes from this, and it's that scene where what is it? It's where he's in the I guess you call it a saloon. And he says, "What kind of dentist are you?" And he's like, "Huh." And then he pulls the beer down from the tap. It's like, despite that card, I haven't practiced dentistry in 3 years. These days, I practice a new profession, bounty hunting. Like, it's, yeah, that's where that scene comes from. It's great, though. You know, recently getting into films, it's fun to point out where these ASMR scenes come from. I watched Before Sunset. The whole trilogy. Fell in love. I cried. But the scene where she gets her palm read is from that. Did you like your palm read? And she's like, "Yeah, how much?" Like, that comes from that. Then we have a film that I don't really remember, but I know I've seen it when I was young. I think I saw it in theaters with my mom. And it's just about this kid that has cancer. And he writes these letters to God, and there's no postmark, obviously, and so this mailman takes care of them, and it's inspirational. It's a cute movie, sad, very sad, but there's a song in it, and I remember it so deeply because when I was a kid, for a thing at church, when I was brought into the church as a kid, we had to do a interpretive dance to a song from this. So, yeah, that's like a good memory I hold on to. We block out the trauma and the conversion therapy. No, but it's a cute film. So, then we have Quarantine. And this is a really weird find because this is the American adaptation of the original Spanish REC. REC. And they're both great. I find them both fantastic. What's weird though, is the cover is printed in Spanish, and I bought this at Dollar Tree. Sometimes you'll find Spanish printings at Dollar Tree. But when you open it, the disc is in English, so the film is in English. I thought that was just fun. And I don't really know a lot of Spanish, but I know this is possibly the major, no, I probably butchered that. Horror of the year, though. But it's great. It's a zombie flick. It is like a disease-riddled, they're put in quarantine in this building, this newscaster. It's a found footage film, but it's really fascinating because the found footage is from an actual cameraman. So it's not like, amateur teens with a camera like a Blair Witch, which you can see right there, both of them. It's more a news reporter, that's her, and her cameraman. So he records everything for, like a news report. So I thought it's really cool. It's gory, it's freaky. Then we have the only 3 MCU films that I own that I'm trying to get the rest of them, but it takes time. There's a lot of MCU films. Plus, it annoys me because these are all 3 different. So, Far From Home is the second Spider-Man solo film. It's a great film. It's probably my least favorite of the Spider-Mans, though. I can't really tell you what's about it to spoil it. Well, I guess I could. Peter Parker goes to, he goes overseas. Where does he go? It's a European vacation. It's like, there's 3 different cities he visits. But yeah, it's good. This is the Blu-ray DVD digital edition. So it has all 3. Then you get No Way Home, which I bought the day it released. Blu-ray DVD digital, fine. But it comes with this slip cover. And Far From Home doesn't. And then, this is really great. This is the multiverse one. Then we have Multiverse of Madness, Doctor Strange. I bought this the day it released. Blu-ray and digital code only. So it's kind of annoying because the cases look nice, but you have different sizes. I mean, look at that. You can't see them, but I mean, look at this. Different sizes, different designs, and then one is missing a kind of disc. I don't know if it's because they're trying to phase out DVDs and sell them separately to make more profit, which is fine. I mean, I get marketing, I get times are tough, but I don't know, it annoys me that it doesn't match. And like, I feel like I'm buying the wrong version. And maybe I am, tell me if I am. But these films are great. I love the MCU. I finally sat down last year and binge watched them. I watched like 2 a day. Just in time to see the, what was it I saw in theaters? Eternals was the first one I saw in theaters, but just in time for the TV shows, like WandaVision and Falcon and all that. So, but yeah, I think these are great. Yeah, it just bugs me that they don't match, because like, all of these match. And it really doesn't even have to do with the DVD part. It's just the fact that the slipcovers. And you can buy slipcovers online, but they're like $6 for a piece of cardboard. Now come on. I feel like Wendy Williams, come on now. I'm not doing it. But I also don't want to just like get rid of the slipcover because it looks nice and it protects the case. So I don't end up with a case that looks like this. So, but yeah, that is all my DVDs, not my Blu-rays, and my 4Ks. I have all my horror DVDs. I have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, no, 44, I have 42 horror DVDs that I could show you. You know, everything from Blair Witch to Halloween to Rocky Horror to It. I also have my VHS tapes. Just let me know if you guys want to see more stuff like this. I really like being able to just sit behind the camera and point at stuff. That's always nice. But yeah, that's everything. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you liked it. Let me know down in the comments what you thought. What's your favorite Blu-ray or movie in general? Yeah. So that's it. Until next time, yeah. Enjoy yourselves. Have a good day. I'm gonna work on building a good outro. So yeah, we'll work on that.